So I'm sticking this in at the beginning of the video. Originally I planned on having one long video covering everything, but I think what I might end up doing is splitting this into two. So there's kind of four chapters, if you will, of what I'm trying to explain, and I'll do the first half in the first video, and then probably release the second video a week later, I think, or a couple days later, depending on how quick I can get everything queued up and loaded into YouTube, because this is ending up to be a huge file. But anyway, hope this helps out someone, and look forward to everything coming out as soon as possible. So welcome back once again. This is the kind of a Gatebox intro, I guess. This is after I've unpacked it and set it up. I've been hanging out with it for about a week now, almost, a little less than a week. Setup wasn't too bad. It's a little bit difficult if you don't have any Japanese background, but it's pretty easy to get through, especially if you use a translator. If you know some kana and kanji, it makes it go a lot easier because you can kind of figure out what you're supposed to do. They do have some English inside the app that you need to download. It's called the Gatebox link, and it's basically used to send commands to the unit and to Hikari whenever you need to talk to her. So right now it's showing the character Azuma Hikari, who is kind of your little maid or assistant for the unit. I have the lights off right now because she shows up a little bit better. I guess let's take a little breakdown of what's actually included on the unit. So I cut on the lights to kind of show off everything a little bit better. First thing you can kind of see is the light trim going around the sides of the unit and the base. That's kind of your status light. So blue is the normal setting. I've already seen it go yellow a couple of times. That usually means there's some issue with the unit. I got it when the Wi-Fi was on, but I couldn't get a signal to the unit for some reason. They actually give you plugs on the back. So if you look at the back of the unit, you can see you have a hard line connection, your on-off switch, your audio out. That's a 3.5 stereo output, and then you have your power in. Let's see, on the front of the unit we have two kind of motion sensors right here and right here that it uses to sense whenever you get close to the unit. And then you have a camera right here in the center, which I assume is going to be used for face recognition or something later. I don't think it's used right now. On the top you also have an IR beam that'll send out IR signals for like your TV or any other electronics. If you have an AC unit that uses that, you can probably switch it to control that or anything else around the house, like lights or coffee pots. I don't think it's as popular to use over here since we have bigger houses, but if you have that sort of stuff, you can actually set it up so that it'll turn on those electronics and kind of use them for you, or turn them on, turn them off for you automatically whenever you set them up that way. You have the little touch signal here that's used to call Hikari. So right now she's sitting in a little chair playing with her laptop. That's one of the little modes they have on the, like, kind of a standby mode. She has laptops, cell phones. She'll drink tea. Looks like she's putting it away right now. She'll walk back and forth. It's got a little tablet that she uses sometimes. It's pretty cool how many little things they've added to it. A lot more than I originally thought. Looks like she's jumping off right now. Now it's coming back, so it's probably going for a new animation. Let's see. That's your little touch sensor, which is usually used to talk to her. So you have the one press, which is usually just to get like attention from her. You have the double press, which is usually used to call her, and then usually a sound little button will come up, meaning you can talk to her. Konbanwa. So there's a couple phrases that I've learned that she can recognize. Konnichiwa. Another thing is kind of she'll respond in the same kind of politeness that you use. So, like in the morning, if you use, didn't work. Ohayo gozaimasu. She didn't use the more polite form. But in the morning, when I've woken up a couple times, you can see the difference between Ohayo and Ohayo gozaimasu. It's really only basic kind of commands, so even if you don't have that strong of a Japanese, you can still kind of interact with her. The long press is usually to send her away or call her back when it's working correctly. You've got to hold it down, I think. And that's kind of like the standby mode as well. So if you don't interact with her for a while, or you set it up to leave, then that's kind of your default mode. And then if she's not around, you can call her back by doing the same thing, just long pressing. And then she pops back. Pretty cool. So those are kind of the basic units on the machine and some of the basic things that she does. There's kind of 4 real modes on the machine. There's the good morning mode, kind of the leave mode, the return mode, and then the good night mode, I guess, is what you would call it. So I'll pause it real quick and then try to set up the good morning mode. It's already pretty late at night, but I'll just force her to do it anyway. So right now I'm trying to get her to recognize that it's morning mode, and what I did was I forgot that it is on military time. That's one of those things you have to remember about Japan, is usually 24-hour time cycle. But anyway, you set her up so that you tell her, this is the time I usually wake up. This is what I want you to do when I wake up, so you can have her turn on the lights or anything else that can that you have a remote for that has that IR signal. So she's gotten rid of the T. And now she's about to sit back down, but I told her morning should be happening pretty soon. So she should start looking for me right about any time here. So now she's entered the morning mode. So I told her I would be waking up around now. And now she's trying to wake me up. The only downside to this is that this isn't in my bedroom. It's where my TV is, so obviously I'm not going to hear her try to wake me up. But what you basically do is walk up to her, you wave at her, or just show her your face to her. And now she knows I'm awake, so she goes into the little morning routine. Ohayo. So now she goes into the little information mode. Which is a little bit kind of like a newscaster poi. So she tells you the date, tells you about the weather. She's got a couple of little phrases she'll tell you, like if you need an umbrella or if it's going to be cold outside or something like that. I do need to figure out a way to switch it to the imperial units because I know metric is the way of the future, but over here we don't use that. So it's kind of a little bit more convenient to use Fahrenheit. So that's kind of the morning mode, wake up mode. Pretty simple. She can tell the difference between Ohio and Ohio gozaimasu. I've used it a couple different times. Let's try the leave mode next. So I think I'll go ahead and cut it off for now. That should make it a reasonable size. I don't want anybody sitting through like an hour-long explanation of what she can do. So I'll post the second half probably a couple days later. So look out for it. If there's any comments or questions or anything you want me to go over, post it in the comments or send me an email. I'll try to cover that in the next video. Maybe I'll make a third video with any questions or anything like that that comes up. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Thanks. Once again, my name is superjollymac. You can hit me up at superjollymac@gmail.com or just comment on the video and I'll try to respond to those as soon as I can.